Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants from whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Proceed.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Proceed.
Order number 3, messages.
Proceed.
Order number 4, petitions.
Proceed.
Order number 5, papers.
Proceed.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Under this one, I call Honorable Peter Kilonzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Notice of motion. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the 4th schedule of the Constitution provides for land surveying, mapping and boundaries and fencing as function of county government. Aware that pursuant to Article 62 sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, public land shall vest in and be held by a county government in trust for the people resident in the county. Informed that the exercise of surveying, beaconing and mapping of rural areas, rural access roads in Mwala sub-county was done way back in 1970s. Further aware that since that time, and with an increase in demand for land for farming and settlement, the said access roads have been encroached and their sizes drastically reduced. Considering that Article 62 sub-Article 4 of the Constitution provides that public land shall not be disposed of or otherwise used except in terms of the Act of Parliament, specifying the nature and the terms of disposal or use. Cognizant that accessibility is the driving factor for rural development, and that Her Excellency, Honorable Wafinya Ndeti, the Governor of Machakos County, during her speech in this assembly on 27 September 2022, voted to improve access roads and mobility, aware that the mobility cannot be achieved before undertaking fresh marking of boundaries of rural access roads. Noting that from the same speech, the county government is doing an intensive road grading program, and that fresh marking of boundaries of rural roads in the said sub-county is critical for the purposes of preparedness and meaningful grading work. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this House urges the Department of Lands and Physical Planning, 1, undertakes the exercise of marking of boundaries of all access roads in Mwala sub-county, and 2, facilitates public participation in sub-county when carrying out the exercise of marking boundaries of all rural access roads in Mwala sub-county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Peter Kilonzo. I now call upon Honorable Francis Kitaka to give his notice of motion.
Honorable Speaker, I am Francis Kitaka, representing Dalani Ward. Honorable Speaker, that aware that at Article 174F of the Constitution outlines one of the objects. Okay, I'll repeat it. The motion is establishment of Kazi Mtaani initiative for maintenance of feeder roads. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, that aware Article 174F of the Constitution outlines one of the objects of devolution is to promote social and economic development and the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout Kenya. Aware that the fourth schedule of the Constitution provides for county government in this schedule is mandated in construction and maintenance of county roads. Informed that a resolution was passed in this House urging the county government to repair and designate county graders in each sub-county, acknowledging that this resolution was implemented and currently each sub-county is allocated one grader that undertakes routine maintenance of the ward roads. Cognizant that there are 8 sub-counties in Machakos County, each with several wards, and some are very vast, making it difficult for the graders to traverse each ward. Aware that the county government can realize better results by using Kazi Mtaani, as well as achieve the objectives of ensuring better roads infrastructure, since the manual labor will complement the current force of the graders, and creating employment by putting money in the pockets of the locals. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that the county government considers initiating Kazi Mtaani program by engaging the public in maintenance of feeder roads with the supervision of the resident sub-county engineers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Francis. I now call upon Honorable Grace Bahat to give a notice of motion.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the Select Committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and Secretary of the Machakos County Public Service Board has established Understanding Order 62 Sub-Article 8 was approved by this House on 15th November 2022. Aware that Standing Order 62 Sub-Article 8A provides that the Select Committee shall within 10 days report to the Assembly whether the allegations against the members and Secretary of the Machakos County Public Service Board are substantiated. Informed that the committee requested the public to submit information, comments or complaints by way memoranda relating the members and the Secretary by 19th November 2022 through advertisement in the media, further aware that the committee conducted hearings of the accused and some witnesses on 21st November 2022. Noting that the stated timeline of the reporting on the investigation will expire Friday, 25th November 2022, and the committee has not finalized on the report and the House will not be sitting that day. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this House approves that the Select Committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and the Secretary of the Machakos County Public be granted an extra 4 days to table the said report on 29th November 2022. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Grace. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 7, statements.
And this one I call Honorable Nicholas Zioka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Nicholas Zioka, the MCA for Machakos Central Ward. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Monday, 21st November 2022 to prioritize business for the House as forwarded by committees and honorable members pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order number 151, Sub-Order 6D. The committee balloted as follows. Tuesday morning, 22nd November 2022 at 10 a.m. A, motion on making boundaries of all access roads in Mwala Sub-County by the Honorable Peter Kilonzo, MCA from Uni Ward. B, motion on establishment of Kazi Mtaani initiative for maintenance of feeder roads by the Honorable Francis Kitaka, MCA from Dalani Ward. C, motion on extension of reporting time by the Select Committee investigation on removal from office of 3 members and Secretary of the Machakos County Public Service Board by the Honorable Grace Bahati, the Chairperson, Vice Chairperson and MCA for Chileni Ward. And D, adjournment of the House, motion that the House, adjournment of the House by Honorable Nicholas Zioka. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Nicholas. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 8, request of extension time to report on investigation on allegations against some members of the Machakos County Public Service Board.
Under this one, I call Honorable Grace Bahat.
Honorable Speaker, that aware that the Select Committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and the Secretary of the Machakos County Public Service Board, as established under Standing Order 62, Sub-Article 8, was approved by this House on 15th November 2022. Aware that the Standing Order 62, Sub-Article 8A, provides that the Select Committee shall within 10 days report to the Assembly whether the allegations against the members and the Secretary of the Machakos County Public Service Board are substantiated. Informed that the committee requested the public to submit information, comments or complaints by way memoranda relating the members and the Secretary by 19th November 2022 through advertisement in the media. Further aware that the committee conducted hearings of the accused and some witnesses on 21st November 2022. Noting that the stated timeline for the reporting on the investigation will expire Friday, 25th November 2022, and the committee has not finalized on the report and the House will not be sitting that day. Committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and the Secretary of Machakos County Public be granted an extra 4 days to table the said report on 29th November 2022. Mr. Speaker, I kindly request Honorable Ketor to come and second the motion.
I don't think we have honorable member by the name Kito.
Apologies, Mr. Speaker. I request Honorable Ndolo to come and move the motion. Okay, sorry. Okay. I remain guided. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this House approves that the Select Committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and the Secretary of Machakos County Public be granted an extra 4 days to table the said report on 29th November 2022. I request Honorable Ndolo to second this motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Philip Ndolo, representing Mitaboni Ward, and also a member of the Select Committee that is investigating the 3 boards and the Secretary. I stand to second this motion for extension of 4 days. As you know, Mr. Speaker, we were hearing the witnesses and the accused, and we finished yesterday very late. So this committee needs time to prepare the report, and we bring it on 29. Thank you. I also ask the House to support it.
Thank you, Honorable Philip. I now propose the question that this House approves that the Select Committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and the Secretary of Machakos County Public be granted an extra 4 days to table the said report on 29th November 2022. Yes, Mheshimiwa Ellen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand here to support the motion brought by the Select Committee. The report they are working on is a very important report that is touching on people's lives. It's very important that they are given enough time, humble time, to be able to catch or take into consideration every single detail. So I support that they be given extra 4 days to complete this report.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Honorable Mbuva.
My name is Honorable Charles Mbuva, representing the wise people of Kangundo West. I stand to support the motion seeking extension. First of all, Mr. Speaker, this is not just a simple exercise being undertaken by this House. It is that exercise or that process which should be seen to be above board. And for the Select Committee to come up with a report which will meet the threshold of passing or looking to have merit, we do not want the Select Committee to have the excuse of we did not have adequate time. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, these kind of hearings are hearings of where allegations or accusations are read to the persons, and they also need time to respond. They could also be having evidence to defeat the allegations leveled against them. And Mr. Speaker, I also want to bring to your attention Standing Order 63, Suborder 2. When this process, if you read that Standing Order 63-2, we have seen, even in other jurisdictions, in the National Assembly and elsewhere, committees, select committees coming up with findings which could have strong merit. But those findings, that report, is defeated on the basis of a technicality. The standing order I have just quoted requires that those people, those commissioners, those members of that board will need to be issued with whatever report that the select committee will have made 3 days before it is tabled in the House. So, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't end up having a process which will be challenged on the basis of a technicality, I strongly support that we extend, because it means no harm, it is facilitating the process so that the committee makes the report, the final report, serves those members of the board with the report in compliance with that standing order 3 days before it is tabled in the House, so that we don't end up with a technicality. So that then when the report is tabled in the House, all processes will have been done and the law will have been followed and everybody will have been given a fair play even to defend themselves. Mr. Speaker, I support that motion.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Dominic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The matter beforehand, Mr. Speaker, is a matter of grave concern to our county. And at no point, Mr. Speaker, we need to rush. We are at liberty to have this matter dispensed at whatever time that can be given to this motion and get fair hearing for both the accused and the complainants. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish to quote standing order number 65, which talks about a president, 68, which talks about precedence of a motion, because I have heard maybe some honorable members who are complaining it's like the motion has been given precedence, but procedural motions are given precedence. So we are not in any contravention of the standing orders. They are given precedence. This is a procedural motion. So it's been given precedence. So we are not in any violation of the law. So it is key for those honorable members to note that in as much as the business that was balloted in the floor of at the House Business Committee, procedural motions takes precedence. So we are not in any violation of the same. So I want to say this, Mr. Speaker. There are grave accusations, and until and unless these accusations have been substantiated, all the complainants have been given time to ventilate their issues, and then the committee has enough time, without being rushed or biased or intimidated by anyone, to give its findings. Yes, we know there is a lot of resistance, but at the same time, the complainants have a right to fair hearing, in as much as the complainants as well have a right to fair trial. So we want to say that let the committee be given the time they have requested, and if at the expiry of even for 4 days, they feel that they have not expedited their mandate fully, they can come back to this house, even under special notice of motion, or even on a gazettement, to have a special sitting. We will grant them humble time, so that this house is not embarrassed. It will be very serious for this house to handle a matter that will resort to oblivion, and this house remains embarrassed. We cannot accept this, Mr. Speaker. As the chairman implementation, Honorable Speaker, this matter was discussed in this house. This matter was given recommendations, but the implementing authority did not act on the same. So we want to give the committee ample time to go and discuss, peruse, invite all accused and the complainants, and give the actual report, so that when it is tabled before this house, Honorable Speaker, it gives fair trial to both the accused and the complainant. I support the motion, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic. Honorable Peter Kilonzo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I want to say that the matter before the House is a very serious matter that is touching the lives of people. And we understand very well that every person, every accused person is innocent until proven guilty. I want to put it to the members that Mheshimiwa Dominic is saying that the matter was tabled here in the last assembly, and inform him that we have a principle known as double jeopardy, that you cannot resurrect a matter that was settled and concluded. Mr. Speaker, when we are dealing with matters touching law, I want to agree and support the motion that they get extension, because matters of law, they are very intense and very comprehensive. We don't know what the accusers, and we don't know the respondents what they are given, and we will be relying with the report which the committee will table to this house. Therefore, we say a case in a court, it can be lost under grounds that the evidence which is provided is not sufficient. Therefore, I'm in support of extension of this time, so that now the committee will not have the luxury of saying that the time which we were given was not enough. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support this motion, and I still want to pump some sense to the committee as they go and deliberate on this matter, that it is always good. Article 50 of the Constitution provides right to fair hearing, and Article 25 of the Constitution provides rights which can be limited. And in this article, even the right to life can be limited, but the right to fair hearing cannot be limited. Therefore, honorable members, let's grant this committee the extension, then bring the report, we substantiate, and if it meets the test, then the House will be well guided and will do the necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Peter Kilonzo. I now put the question that what is it? Honorable Ngonga. I think there's a lot of business this morning. That's why probably you could have been in a hurry.
Ndio, nashukuru Bwana Spika kwa kuniona, ijapokuwa imekuchukua muda. Ijapokuwa Bwana Spika imekuchukua muda kuona kidude kama hiki kilicho mbele yako. Bwana Spika, nijulishe kwako kwamba mimi naitwa Mheshimiwa Ngunga ambaye ni mwakilishi ward ya Mua. Mimi si mara yangu wa kwanza kuwa mbungeni, nilikuwa hapa mbungeni muhula uliopita. Kwamba nikusema ninao mazoefu ya kazi zetu za ubunge. Mjadala ulio mbele yetu Bwana Spika leo ni kwamba tuwape ile tume ambayo imechaguliwa, jopo la tume ambayo imechaguliwa na bunge hili, ili wapewe muda ndio watuletee maoni yao baada ya kuchunguza wanaochunguza. Bwana Spika, Waswahili husema mgala muwe na haki yake mpe. Wale kwa sababu wameomba wapewe muda waongezewe, Bwana Spika, naomba nyumba hii ya wabunge ambao ni waheshimiwa wawape muda, ndio tarehe 29 tupatane hapa wakiwa wametuletea kitoweo cha kuzungumzia. Bwana Spika, nimesema haya kwa sababu nilipokuja jana hapa nikasikiza hiyo jopo ikifanya kazi yake, niliona wanayo kazi mbele yao, kazi ngumu mbele yao. Nataka nichukue nafasi hii niwatakie kila la heri katika kazi yao, lakini pia niwashawishi, tafadhalini nyinyi mnapotenda kazi yenu, naombea muongozwe na Mungu ndio haki ipatikane. Nataka niwaambie kwamba tarehe 29 nataka niombe wabunge wote tupatane hapa kwa mjadala huu ambao ni mjadala umetoa tumbo joto kwa kaunti yote, hata kwa nchi yote. Nimepata simu kutoka nje ya kaunti Makueni, nimepata simu Mheshimiwa Speaker. Mheshimiwa Speaker, nimepata simu kutoka kaunti ya Nairobi, kwa sababu tunajaribu kutoa mwongozo kwa kaunti zingine. Nafikiria si mara ya kwanza maneno yao kujadiliwa. Kwa hivyo nataka kumunga mkono Bwana PK aliyosema wacheni tutoe kielelezo chema. Tuwape wakati wale commissioners ndio watupe kazi ambayo itakuwa njema. Nataka nitoe shukrani Bwana Speaker, na wale ambao watakuwa nasafiri kwenda Pwani na watakie kila heri na safari njema. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Honorable Vincent.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Vincent Mutie, indeed the voice of the people of Upper Kaya Ward. I stand here to support the request for extension of time on very important issues like this. We cannot afford to rush. In fact, it is a common practice that he who alleges proves. And since we have with us the allegations, now what this House is waiting is a proof to the allegations. And since the Honorable Committee has expressed its desire to give us a comprehensive report, we cannot wait to see and to debate that report, because that report, it will form the basis of our judgment. It will form the basis of our vote. It will form the basis of our decision. Therefore, when they are asking for an extension, we are bound to support that. The decision that we will take as a House, it will not be based on emotions. It will be based on the facts as presented by the committee. It will be based on truth and not lies. It will be based on facts and not fiction. It will be based on the truth and not hearsay, not propaganda and not feelings. I invite this House to know that when we are deliberating on matters of this assembly, it is a matter of the future of our people. It doesn't matter how much we might be affected or how much excited we might be about any matter, but we can be guided by facts, we can be guided by truth, and not just this committee. Any other committee that is given a responsibility, they have to bring to this house facts. They have to bring to this house real and concrete evidence, so that when we vote, when we cast that vote, we will be guided by the evidence as provided, and evidence that can make us take a decision. Mr. Speaker, this is a taste for this house. It is a test even for the committee. It is a test even for the chair. If we are going to receive a report that is not conclusive, then it will mean that we were not diligent as a house, as a committee. Therefore, for the committee to ask this, I support it wholeheartedly, because we will give them an extra time so that when they are coming to this house, they will come with facts. They will come with evidence that will guide us in taking a position. In his book, The Prince, Niccolo Machiavelli says that they that seek a favorable attention of the prince, they are accustomed to come before him with the things that they value most, or the things that the prince likes most. And this house being the prince, anybody presenting a report to this house must come with facts and not just stories. So when the committee is asking for an extension, it is not a political game. They want to be diligent, I presume. Therefore, in support to this motion, let us give them humble time. The 4 days might not be enough. If you need more days, we will grant you more days. The better we can make this thing to be, the better for ourselves. I support it, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Joshua Mwanga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you for chairing the first sitting of this honorable house. It's regrettable that the previous speakers had not noticed that. But because of good neighborhood, because Masinga Central Ward borders with the Kalakala Ward, in fact, I didn't want to contribute on this because I'm sparing my energy for 29th. That is next week. However, Mr. Speaker, I am the chair, Labor, ICT, Labor, Public Service and ICT. I would urge the committee to borrow a relief from the report which was tabled in this house, this honorable house, in May of this year. It is same accusations which were tabled before this house, and there is a report. So you can borrow a leaf from that report. It formed part of my committee's legacy report. Finally, I don't know what member expected me to say, but this is what I want to say. I want to quote Martin Luther King. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. This is an issue which matters a lot. Members, let's not be silent. But I think the silent members are sparing their energy to debate on 29th. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dawa, then Majority Leader, and the mover will come to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I will start by congratulating you for presiding over this plenary and maybe do a collection to what Mheshimiwa Mwanga has said. He has said that we are presiding over for the first sitting. This is not the first sitting. We have been sitting this assembly. You are only presiding for the first time. So let's take note, Mheshimiwa. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion before this House on issue of extension and request honorable members. The last time we attended a training in Mombasa, there was a facilitator by name Kalama. And Kalama was very much passionate about what we call anticipated debate. Honorable Speaker, it was made very clear by that facilitator that it is not fair to anticipate what is coming. Members ought to be patient. You cross a bridge when you come to it. And you place a pot on stones after you have lit the fire. I don't know why this tension. Honorable Speaker, I'm worried to hear that courts are coming from other counties. What is their interest in Machakos? What is their interest? This is a matter touching Machakos County, and it is being handled by Machakos County Assembly. We need to be given time to do our legislation duty. We don't want to be influenced by any quarter. This is the highest decision-making organ of the county and should have freedom to do its duties. Honorable Speaker, the matter before the House is not all that simple. It is a serious matter. And we have three parties here, Honorable Speaker. Let me be clear on this. We have the petitioners, we have the accused, and we have the select committee. One question that we need to ask ourselves, who is on trial on this matter? Is it the petitioner? Is it the accused? Or is it the select committee? To me, the petitioners knows everything about what is happening here. And the accused knows everything about what is happening here. It is the select committee which is in trial. And by extension, this Honorable House. Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting this House. Let us sober up. Let us do what we were sent here by our electorates to come and do. Because if we don't do what is required of us, we will be doing harm to the entire county. Honorable Speaker, there is a saying from wise men, which says, a change needed in a grandson has to begin with the grandfather. Coming downwards, if us, as legislators of this House, we cannot follow what is required to be followed, what about the rank and file? What will be the rank? What will the rank and file do? The rank and file is the lowest person. If we cannot follow the law ourselves, do we expect those people to follow? Honorable Speaker, Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya is very clear. It says the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. And it goes further to say that mwananchi, or that those people, can exercise that power directly or indirectly. Honorable Speaker, on 9th of August this year, the electorates from Machakos County went to the polling streams and queued for many hours to delegate that power to these honorable members seated here. And those who are nominated, the parties delegated that power to them to do their work. So, Honorable Speaker, let us be given ample time to handle this matter. We don't know the verdict of the report. So I don't know why there is this tension. Why? This is not the petition for the general election. This is just the petitioners. These are petitioners who want to be heard. Honorable Speaker, there is nobody in cells. Nobody is in cell. And if there was one in cell, there is what is provided for by Article 51 of the Constitution. There is what we call habeas corpus. Order of habeas corpus. That one talks about the right of those who are locked down, or those who are in cells. So the matter before us, nobody is locked, everybody is free. We have not encroached on anybody's rights. Everybody is free. And just as Mheshimiwa has said, Honorable PK, in our Bill of Rights, everybody remains innocent until proved guilty. So why this tension? Honorable Speaker, there is what we call
point of information.
There is what we call
Mr.
problem-solving procedure. Honorable Speaker.
You want to inform the member?
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I think unless the member is able to substantiate the measure of tension, we may not dwell on that term to put the House in a state which really is not the case. Thank you.
Honorable, now I'm being informed.
May I proceed, Honorable Speaker?
Yes, just proceed.
Thank you. I may not address that matter because it has got no value. It will add no value to this House. In fact, it's just consuming our time. Honorable Speaker, there is what we call problem solving. And the matter before this House is a problem that we are trying to get the answers. Honorable Speaker, there is what we call in English strategy. What is strategy? A simple definition of the word strategy is a route, steps, or procedure that an individual, group of people, or institution want to use to achieve a certain goal. We are here to address the problem. And Honorable Speaker, step number 1 of addressing a problem is to identify the problem. Step number 2 is to analyze the problem. Step number 3, after analyzing the problem, step number 3 is to provide alternatives for solving that problem. Then from there, Honorable Speaker, number 4 is to analyze each alternative individually. Then from there, after analyzing each, step number 5, Honorable Speaker, is to pick on one which has the least negative impact. Then step number 6, and that is the last step, is to implement. I'm very sure the select committee which was seated here, I did not come here yesterday. I don't know what was talked. But I'm very sure you have collected all the what you required me to collect. It is now to go and analyze those alternatives that we have provided. And on 29th, you come and table to us. So I'm requesting honorable members, we be patient until 29th. Then when you come here on 29th, we will either agree with the report or disagree with the report. Simple as that. Nobody will be coerced to say no or to say yes. It is upon us to say yes. Honorable Speaker, I support the motion that we extend time. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Honorable Nzioka. Okay,
Thank
then
you.
mute. And said after him it's a mover, but I'll grant you time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Nicholas Nzioka, Machakos Central Ward. I stand to support that this House grants the Select Committee the extension that it has sought, so that, as so many honorable members have noticed and said, so that we have a credible report that we are going to ventilate on the 29th of November. I must say that I will not save my energy for that day I just want to say that we do not need to save any energy for anything, because we are not coming to fight. We are coming to debate on the matter and see the way forward. Honorable Speaker, the matter before this House is of grave concern to this county. We're talking about the financial implications of what the report may have, the psychological implication. So we need to give the committee enough time. And I urge the members that this matter affects each one of us one way or the other. We're talking about human resource management. Human resource management is the most important resource in any institution. So I'm urging that we all look at this issue in a bipartisan way. Look at the good. Balance what you say that can help this county ultimately. Just yesterday on the social media, I saw that this county is paying 97 million in extraneous allowances. The question would be, to who and for what? If we are losing 97 million per month, when are the roads in Machakos Central Ward going to be tarmacked? When is the borehole? When is the water going to be done for our people? Let us look at the bigger picture. We might not want to scratch the wound so that it heals, but we may end up making the wound becoming cancerous. So we must be bold enough. This House must be, every member, I urge you, all of you to stand up and be counted, that during the third assembly, this mess in the Public Service Board was corrected. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Mheshimiwa, then the mover, kindly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You said Mheshimiwa. I don't know whether it was you meant me or you
Yes,
meant
it's Mheshimiwa Constance Mpula.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to say we have talked about these points, and this is not the first time for it to come up in this House. We had it in the last House, and it was dealt with and finalized, but things keep coming up, which is okay. Maybe something was left behind, but I want to tell this House, this is a very grave matter. We must know these are our brothers, our sisters, our fathers, and we all belong to Machakos. We should not condemn people before we know what's happening or what's the truth. So, honorable members, let's go slowly. Last time I was in that committee of ICT and labor, and we kept on dealing and dealing until we reached somewhere, and we thought we were through with it. But now, I think things kept on coming and coming and coming. That is where we are today, and that is why we are also debating on this today. We need to have a clear mind and know how to deal with this matter once and for all. Because remember also, as I said, these are our fathers and our relatives. If your son commits sin and is taken to committee, you will not stand far and say, I will not help him, because that is your blood, is still your son, is still your relative. So let us be ready to assist where we can. Give them a clear hearing and a very good hearing. Listen to them. Once in a while, we do bad things knowing. And after we finish, then we come and say, God, please forgive me, but you have done it. Now,
Honorable Ellen.
If I don't want to be informed.
No, let her inform.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Is the honorable member right to tell us that we should be able to even forego or close our eyes to illegalities? As the Vice Chair of Justice and Legal, I'm not going to allow any illegalities in this Machakos. We must, members, this is a house of order. We must make sure that things are done in the right way. Thank you.
Thank you. Proceed, Honorable Constance.
Let me also correct that.
Hope you are informed.
Honorable member, I did not ask anyone to close their eyes. We only close eyes when we are sleeping. So I support, I support, and we move on. Thank you.
Thank you. Then, okay, Honorable Kaloi, I thought we've got two more motions in this house today, this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to support the motion, and my urge to the committee, don't leave any stone unturned. Make sure you go deep to the matters. We want a clean assembly, we want a clean county. We want development, and as an assembly, we are going to support and work with clean people. If they are good, we work with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Kaloi. Majority whip, then the mover. Kindly, Honorable Member Salam.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I want also to thank the main speaker who saw it good to give you room to practice and test your capability. Honorable Speaker, I want to speak on a point of concern because the contribution of some of us insinuates or gives an environment or a certain temperature that we will not deliver. I want to say, like one of us has given, that we were elected by our people, we were nominated by our parties because we are equal to the task which comes in this house. I want to give confidence and affirm and also applaud the select committee that gave the names without any style, without any direction into that committee to look into that very weighty matter. Members, let us not give the atmosphere or a room, because whatever comes out of this house goes into the public, that people have been massacred by this house, which is not the case. We are executing our mandate, which we are given by the electorate back at home, and they know whatever is given. For example, the good people of Matungulu West have confidence in me that whatever will be placed in my table on their behalf, the right will come. So I would speak saying, members, as you go out, don't go out in the spirit that somebody is being done away with, somebody is being crucified. No, that's not the point. And now that we are here to get extra time, we have done all that is good for the select committee, and we are just going to bring what we have found out. We are your agents. When you talk heal of the select committee, you are talking heal of yourself. So I believe we are all here in a purpose of making Machakos the best place to live. And that starts with what we have now. Like Honorable Constant has said, they are brothers, they are sisters, they are everything. We are in Machakos, and there is no cause of alarm. And I don't think it was wrong for the matter to be brought, for the motion to be brought to Parliament. It was part of our business. And when it comes, let us treat it with a lot of decorum, that it is a respected motion, and we handle it with the most discipline which can be found. So I support the motion, and I commit that let us not start speaking about the report, yet it has not come. I support the motion, and I promise, being a member of that select committee, what will come here is what you, my fellow honorable member, would have brought were you in that select committee. I support.
Thank you. Then the mover can come and reply.
Thank you, honorable members, for supporting the motion. Having been, or rather being the vice chairperson of the select committee, we do have a mandate to deliver to this house, and we do know for sure to whom much is given, much is expected. And that's what we expect to deliver to the house, because this is a house of order, and we want Machakos people to have a working system that builds, that supports, and that makes our county grow. And that's the purpose mandate of this select committee. So thank you so much, honorable members. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Grace. I now put the question that this House approves that the select committee investigating the removal from office of 3 members and the Secretary of Machakos County Public be granted an extra 4 days to table the said report on 29th November 2022. As many as are of the opinion say ayes.
Ayes.
As many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 9, marking of boundaries of all access roads in Mala Sub-County.
And now I call upon Honorable Peter Kilonzo to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, marking of the boundaries of all access roads in Mwala Sub-County, I have come to realize that the issue of boundaries marking and the issue of inter-roads cuts across the whole of Machakos County. And it is not a matter only for Mwala Sub-County alone. Therefore, I was seeking a deferment of this motion so that I may include the other interested parties. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Peter Kilonzo. Honorable members, is there any member, probably with a dissenting voice over the deferment of that motion? Thank you. Then, clerk, we can proceed to the next motion.
Order number 10, establishment of Kazi Mtaani initiative for maintenance of feeder roads.
Honorable Francis Kitaka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Francis Kitaka, representing Dalani Ward. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 174F of the Constitution outlines one of the objects of devolution is to promote social and economic development and the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout Kenya. Aware that the 4th schedule of the Constitution provides for the county government in this schedule is mandated in construction and maintenance of county roads. Informed that a resolution was passed in this House urging the county government to repair and designate county graders in each sub-county. Acknowledging that this resolution was implemented and currently each sub-county is allocated 1 grader that undertakes routine maintenance of the ward roads. Cognizant that there are 8 sub-counties in Machakos County that with several wards and some are vast, making it difficult for the graders to traverse each ward. Aware that the county government can realize better results by using Kazi Mtaani as well as achieve the objectives of ensuring better roads infrastructure, since the manual labor will complement the current force of the graders, and creating employment by putting money in the pockets of the locals. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that the county government considers initiating Kazi Mtaani program by engaging the public in maintenance of feeder roads with the supervision of the resident sub-county engineers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I therefore call Honorable Deputy Majority to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Jackson Daka from Tala Ward. I do second the motion. Indeed, it's a very good initiative because currently we have a lot of youth who are unemployed, and if that is implemented, we can kill that disease of our people having no employment. And indeed, it is also a program which is good because the program will going to make the people to feel that they own the government. So, Speaker, I do support and I do second the motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now propose the question that this House approves that the I now propose the question that this county government considers initiating Kazi Mtaani program by engaging the public in maintenance of feeder roads with the supervision of the resident sub-county engineers. I so invite honorable members to debate. Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Judas Ndawa, representing the great people of Matu. Honorable Speaker, I support the motion, and I will start by congratulating my neighbor. In fact, Honorable Kitaka is my immediate neighbor because his ward neighbors Matu, for coming up with this noble motion. Honorable Speaker, the motion talks about job creation. And Honorable Speaker, as everybody is aware, there is a lot of anger in our county and to the extension in the entire country. Our people some are almost dying because of anger. Honorable Speaker, the essence of devolution was to take resources to the Mwananchi, to the grassroots, to the village. And Honorable Speaker, what is happening? When there is a project which needs to be done, in most cases we tender. We advertise that project, the interested contractors come to visit the site, then they tender. And Honorable Speaker, you will find that most of the tenders that are advertised are open tenders as per the Constitution. And when we go by open tenders, it means now monies which are meant to do a road in Matu or Ndalani or Kidimani for that matter, that money will be paid to a contractor who comes from another county. So the monies for Machakos, which is supposed to assist the Machakos residents, is assisting other counties. And that is why we are failing as counties, Honorable Speaker. The motion is self-explanatory. There are some works which do not need all that, those bureaucracy. It's just work. And Honorable Speaker, our youth are just swallowing what we call cat or mera because they have nothing to do. I'm very sure, Honorable Speaker, we don't need an extra budget to do this job. We don't need an extra budget. The same budget which is there to do the roads, let's use the same budget to have the roads done and our people get something to eat.
So, Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting if we can have other members thinking like Honorable Ketaka, I'm very sure problems of Machakos will be solved. So I support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Zora. Grace Bahati, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm in support of that motion. As a youth, during the campaign season, every honorable member here, I'm sure one of the greatest need we were asked was the job recreation for our youths in our society. And having the job insufficiency in our country right now, these are some of the opportunities we can offer to our young people, and not just them, just to put food on their table. These allowances they'll be getting, they are able enough, actually through savings, they're able enough to facilitate their college fees. They are able to help even their parents in their maybe paying their bills at home. So I'm totally in support of this, and not by just financially, also in terms of the projects in our community. It means that they will be able to own up the roads. They'll be able to own up either it's just plantations or a beautifying of the roads. So this motion, it's very important and very vital to our community and Machakos as a whole. So I'm in support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Honorable Katiti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank them for the motion. Every time that we are, during our campaign time, we used to tell the people that we shall employ them. This is a kind of this is a kind of a job creation, because once we employ our people, we employ our youth, some of the challenges that we are facing in our country will end. Like because of laxity, our people, our children, are prone to drug abuse. If we can provide jobs for these people, even the mothers and fathers who don't have jobs down our village can have money to pay school fees. Establish that kind of kazi mtaani will also open up our businesses in that region. So I stand to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Honorable Dwiki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Daniel Dwiki, representing the great people of Syokimau Mlolongo Ward. I stand here to support the motion. Bearing in our minds that we know that there is lack of employment in our areas, and we have a lot of youths who are not at work. So this motion will provide a job opportunity for the youth. For example, the place where I represent in Syokimau Mlolongo Ward, this is a town place where youths are everywhere seeking for jobs. In fact, even they are turning to criminal activities because of lack of job opportunities. So when such activities are implemented, we think the rate of unemployment will be cut down, and we'll have job for our youth. So I support this motion, and by extension, the move of the motion should consider also including the other departments like the garbage collection, and like the tree planting, as one of honorable members said. So we need our youth engaged in activities that will bring income to their lives. And that this will be of great impact to this count, and the electorate will be happy with the work of this count. So I support the motion, and I want the mover to include other departments of the count so that we have our youth get the job. Thank you. I support.
Thank you, Honorable Matthew.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Matthew Ndunda, Kangundo North Ward. I support this motion on the notion that by promoting this kazi mtaani, in fact, it will support the initiative in terms of ensuring that the feeder roads in our wards indeed are well perfected. Because what we know is that the machines or the graders in our area, they cannot meet all the necessities in our area. because you find there are some roads whereby the graders cannot go through. Either one, the roads are small in terms of the size, and also the other issue you find that the grader, like for example, we have the 8 sub-county. You find we have 8 graders, and by so doing, you find it takes long before it moves from one ward to the other, and therefore, promoting this kazi mtaani, it means in every ward there is youth who are there, and therefore it will promote this work to be well equitable, easier, and well perfected, and therefore making our roads passable and ensuring that at least the work is done to perfect of our community, and therefore by doing so it will ensure that our society is well initiated in terms of road maintenance. Therefore, I support the move. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mheshimiwa Ross.
Thank you. Asante Speaker. Naunga huo mswada, naunga mkono, na kabla niunge mkono, mimi naitwa Rose, nimeteuliwa na chama utawala UDA. Huu mswada naunga mswada nikitoa shukrani kwa mheshimiwa mwenye ameulete. Mheshimiwa Sandi, kwa kuwa unajali vijana wetu. Hiyo ndio ile msemo ya UDA masinani, bottom up. Kwa hivyo naunga mswada. Na huyo mswada naomba tupitishe, kwa sababu kwa hakika mboma zetu za vijana zimeharibika. Vijana wetu hawana chochote, hawana fedha. Kakidogo kale wanapata sababu ya stress wanaenda kukunywa pombe. Hata wengine sijui tutazaliwa wajukuu na nani, kwa sababu wamekunywa pombe sababu ya stress. Kwa hivyo mheshimiwa, hongera sana. Tuongezee mswada nyingi. Asante.
Thank you. Honorable Vincent.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And indeed, I must congratulate the mover of the motion, and also to inform the House that he was a student leader in the university that we went. So I must say that he must have been a smart boy growing up. Congratulations, Honorable Aktak. This motion will help us in many things. First, to note, the spirit of devolution, the spirit of the county government, it was about social welfare. It was about helping the people address the things that bother them on a daily basis. It was about bringing resources closer to the people. Now, this is an example of how to bring resources closer to the people. When we take this initiative, many young people who, for one way or another, have been idle, hence resorting to drug abuse, resorting to some other disorderly manner, things that they do, they will be engaged. We will also bring food at the table of many residents of our area. But most importantly, this initiative will build the economy of our county, because there is something in the circles of economy called the multiplier effect. 1,000 shillings in the pockets of 1 million people can do far much better than 1 million shillings in the pocket of one person. Therefore, this initiative will not just help the people who will be employed to do the job. It will even help the kiosk owners in the villages. It will help the teachers, the ECDE teachers in the village, because these people who will be employed to do this work, they will have money to spend. And the government earns when the people spend. Therefore, this is a noble exercise, is a noble thing that we need to adapt actually as early as yesterday. This way we will be providing jobs to our people. We will be giving, we will be empowering the locals at the local levels. At the same time, we will still be delivering on the mandate of delivering to the same people. When they are paid that money to do the roads, to clear the bushes, to clean the markets, we will not have a pressure to employ people to do that that job in a different way. We will have secured the task, and we will be able to give our people money. Our people will have money, and the services will be done. So we support, and I support personally, because this is what we have been waiting for long. And thank you, my brother, for seeing it and bringing it to the assembly. I thank you.
Honorable Deputy Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank Honorable Francis Kitaka, representing Dalani, for bringing such an important matter to this House. And I support the motion. And I'd also like to request the House, because a matter of such nature comes with its cost implication. And I want to request the House, if the passion that we are debating the matter this morning, that when the time for the supplementary budget comes, we need to ensure that there is an allocation to ensure that the initiative becomes a success. Quoting from what Honorable Brian said last week, that we need to move from a talking to an action-oriented House, that is the only way we'll move as a county. And secondly, even as we look into the matter, Mr. Speaker, we not only need to look at the aspect of the 1,000 shilling or the 100 shilling that the young people or our people are going to get. We need to look and come up with a policy framework that will ensure that they not only repair the roads, but there is a clear plan where these people can learn skill through being attached to the people who are working on our roads from the county, that eventually these people can learn the skills, and probably maybe they can secure opportunities. And I hope the honorable member, when he proposes that we have the people working, he has no intention of replacing the graders with the people, because we need them at the grassroots level, so that for the sake of quality. But in terms of caravats that are needed there, we can also come up with a plan where these people can be given an opportunity to make them, and probably instead of the county procuring them from outside or from other quarters, they can buy from these young people at the village. And if in instance is a road that is being done in Dalani, the people who have such a project in Dalani, the culverts and any other small materials that will be needed to do the works can be procured from those people. With that, that will have more value addition instead of just bringing them and having them just to do the manual jobs. And also, we can expand the same away from the roads. There are so many opportunities that we can engage our people to make meaningful employment. And I'll also request the House, Mr. Speaker, to look to what extent the 70% requirement where of the opportunities that are available in Machakos that are supposed to be given to our people are effected, and implemented to the latter, because that will be the first step to solve the rampant case of unemployment in our county, because we have so many organizations, companies that are domiciled in Machakos, but our people are not benefiting. And in the morning, you see people being driven all the way from our neighboring counties to come and work in Machakos, and in the evening, they are driven back. Those are resources that should be benefiting our people. We are not against other people working in Machakos, but we want the 70% that is given and supposed to benefit our people to be implemented. So the chair for implementation and I think delegated legislation, they need to see to what extent this is being effected and ensure 100% compliance, because Mulolongo, at the river, Chumvi, and some part of this county have enough industry, an industrial zone that can absorb almost 40% of the unemployed people in Machakos County if the 70% requirement is implemented to the latter. Thank you. I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Kavio, for your submissions. And on that same matter, I believe there was such a motion in this house in the second assembly. Probably the relevant committee can follow up on that matter. Honorable Brian.
Thank you, my chairman of the very tough select committee, and Mr. Speaker for today. My name is Brian Kisila, representing the people of Mwala, and chairman of the centralized units, the newly found committee, the newly born committee. Mr. Speaker, I think this is a very good motion, excellent motion, and I must thank my brother, Honorable Kitaka, for bringing such a motion in the eve of us celebrating his homecoming on Saturday. We will be there to tell his people that they elected a very smart Mheshimiwa who is thinking about their interests. This needs to be well thought out, because it is a double-edged sword. We need to come up with a very detailed procedure of how we'll ensure this work is done. I removed Mheshimiwa who at the first assembly had something like this. But money was given, people worked, and they were not paid. And it costed Mheshimiwa a lot of pain and anguish. We need to come up with a very well thought out process of how we'll ensure that the money given is well controlled and reaches the right people. And Mr. Speaker, it needs also to be channeled in a very good way. In fact, we need to think about women groups, youth groups, so that we can have a unit of which that money can go to them and they can be charged with that responsibility. During the campaigns last election, Her Excellency the Governor, I was in one function where she came, and actually she talked about how we can support even chairmans, even these funeral committees. We can transform them by supporting them, giving them money to work, and we control that. So I support the motion. I think it is in line with Her Excellency the Governor's motto of chakula mezani, pesa mfukoni. And I think it will give a very good mileage to our people, and if it is well executed. The challenge here, Mr. Speaker, is execution of the idea. I like what
even fencing posts, and using the youth to execute that. So I support.
Thank you, Honorable Brian. Honorable Escovitis.
My name is Matthias Mwasia. Escovitz, the Russian in house, and the only one. I support the motion for Mheshimiwa Kitaka bringing this motion, because when I was going around campaigning, I was told my people, my electorates, about I will bring motion like this one to support to our youth, because we in our youth we don't have any job. So I was bring to told our electorate and our youth about these jobs, supporting of the youth. So I support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Honorable Anastasia, then the mover will reply.
Thank you so much. I thought you won't catch my head to come here. First, I want to congratulate you, DS, on behalf of the speakers panel for chairing this house today. I stand to support the motion. The last time the national government had Kazim Tahani, and it helped our youth so much. So when this will come to Machakos County, at least our youths and even women will be very busy on this. So I support and thank you for that time.
Thank you. And so I call the mover to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One, I'll take this opportunity to thank honorable members for supporting this motion. We all understand that we have so many, majority of our youths and also our women who are in the village are sitting idle in the village. It's a good idea that we have something for them to do in regards to the casual or the part-pay work that will be given to them in the villages. This will give them an opportunity to have something in their pockets and also to bring food in their table. So I urge members that we support the motion, and I also urge the members that there are concerns on how we will manage and how we will tackle the payments so that they may reach the people on the ground. We will have a bill to regulate how these monies will be given, and also so that we ensure that everybody who works gets what he or she is supposed to get as a reward. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Francis. I now put the question that the county government considers initiating Kazim Tahani program by engaging the public in maintenance of feeder roads with the supervision of the resident sub-county engineers. As many as have the opinion say yes. As many as have the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, having approved the motion, I now urge the Committee on Implementation to follow up on the status of the implementation of the same and report as provided for in Standing Order 181. Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 11, adjournment of the House.
On this one, I call Honorable Majority Leader to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, once again, I'm Nicholas Njoka, the MCA for Machakos Central Ward. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the first session of the Third Assembly commenced on 27th September 2022, aware that pursuant to Standing Order number 25, Sub-Order 1, the Assembly approved an Assembly calendar on 18th October 2022, and aware that the calendar provides for sittings and recess for the House. Aware that Standing Order 25, Sub-Order 4, provides that the Assembly may, by resolution, alter its calendar or the adjournment date. Further, aware that Standing Order 151, Sub-Order 6A, provides that the House Business Committee shall prepare and, if necessary, from time to time adjust the Assembly calendar with the approval of the House. Acknowledging that there is need for members of this House to be trained on parliamentary procedures and the budget-making process, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 25, Sub-Order 4, I wish to move the motion that this House adjourns its sitting from today, 22nd November 2022, to resume on the 29th November 2022 to allow members attend to an induction program. And I now call my brother, the leader of minority, to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa, the MCA representing the great people of Matu. Honorable Speaker, I second the motion, and I'm seconding the motion on the following grounds. Honorable Speaker, they what we call training need analysis. And as you are aware, honorable members and Speaker, this is a new assembly. And Honorable Speaker, some of the training that we have been taken through, we have never tackled about budget making, process and procedure. And as you are aware, Honorable Speaker, the executive is soon tabling a supplementary budget here. And it may not be proper for us to start handling on a docket or on a document if we are not equipped with the knowledge on what we are supposed to do. So, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion that this House adjourns today so that members can have time to go and go through that training so that when we are tabling the report on budget here, we bring a report which is in consistence with the Constitution and the Public Finance Management Act. So, Honorable Speaker, I second and support.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. I now propose the question that this House adjourns its sittings from today, 22nd November 2022, to resume on 29th November 2022 to allow members attend an induction program. And so I invite members to debate the motion. Honorable Dominic.
Honorable Speaker, reading the mood of the House and in guidance and in consultation with the standing orders that provides that the House adjourns its business at 12:30, and noting that we have not a motion of extension, I request you, Honorable Speaker, to move the question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic. And so I call on the mover to reply.
Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank you and also the honorable members for accepting to adjourn the House. But we are not only adjourning, but we are adjourning for a very serious induction course on budget making process. So, honorable members, thank you very much.
Thank you, Majority Leader. I now put the question that this House adjourns its sittings from today, 22nd November 2022, to resume on 29th November 2022 to allow members to attend an induction program. As many as have the opinion say ayes. As many as have the contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. And now, members, the House adjourns today, 29th November 2022, to resume on 29th November 2022 at 10 a.m.